Welcome back to session 3. This is one my favorite of the 5 sessions. Collaboration from content to connection. Collaboration from content to connection. This will change your life because leads change your life. And if you understand the content piece of the connection, it'll change your life. Okay, we're going to talk about productivity and storytelling. That's the theme. Then we're going to get into learn how to convert podcast episodes into collaborative stories, strategically selecting 20 out of your 36 relationships for deeper connection, masterminding for your key strategic magazine. Okay. Then learn storytelling framework to spotlight your partners while subtly elevating your brand. I say subtly because when you co-create their story, it's also your story. So as you're building your digital content, making those connections, shining their story in the community, you go from connections to collaboration. Okay, let's talk first. Learn how to convert podcast episodes into a collaborative story. So, what we do is we take that podcast, that story, and we put it in a printed form. So, you have a digital and a printed. Remember, past our last episode, our last session. Act local, think global. Digital is global. So when you're creating that asset, you're thinking globally. And that allows you for everybody to win because your story is part of their story. When you're featuring them on a podcast, when they're a guest of your podcast, you're collaborating with them to share their story. But you're doing it on purpose because podcasting on purpose will give you a thriving business of generating leads, creating cash flow, and building a thriving community. And we do that by inviting them on the show. Not everybody understands the purpose of a podcast. They see a lot of people doing podcasts, but if you don't have purpose in your collaboration strategy, building your magazine, selecting, let me see if I can put it up here, putting your 12 categories together. And each category, you're putting 3 people. General outline framework. If you're OCD like I am, you don't have to perfectly have 36. That's the goal because you're forming a strategic relationship. You're making those connections. When you're out looking and you're meeting people, you're thinking, would they be a good strategic partner? Because you've already identified your categories. So you're not just going out there and being everywhere. So many people say, I got to be everywhere. And they stress themselves out because they're going all over the place and they don't have the time needed to strategically build. So instead of being everywhere, be somewhere. And somewhere is online. Somewhere is thinking globally. Somewhere is building your digital profile. Somewhere is creating assets. Because when I meet you, I'm going to search you. Plain and simple. If I see nothing, I do nothing. If I see a lot of content out there and you've built strategically your profile, now I have a chance to get to know you. If I get to know you, I can get to where I can trust you and maybe do business with you. But if I don't see you online, you don't have a digital profile, that's as far as it goes. Because today, it's changed. People buy from people. People look at your digital profile. I can pick up my phone I can search anything. I got a supercomputer. We're in the mobile revolution. So everybody's got a phone. And as soon as Tesla comes out with their phone, everybody's going to be connected across the world. And billions of people will have access to you. Are you going to wait? Or are you going to build it now? Because 2025 is the biggest year of our lifetime. And if you can recognize collaboration, you can recognize content, digital assets, podcasting, co-creating. Instead of doing a one-on-one with a person in a restaurant that nobody even knows but you and the person, you invite them to be a guest on your podcast. You collaborate with them. You create content. You shine on their story. And you're not just inviting anybody, which is fine, but you're strategically looking at your columns, your categories, and you're filling this up because you're going to select 20 out of, let me put this up, 20 out of 36, because this is an important book to get. Key Person of Influence by Daniel Priestley, because he talks about the 7-11-4. They have to consume 7 hours of you. They have to make 11 buying signals. It's a 0 moment of truth by Google. And they have to see you on 4 different platforms. And I think I have it here. Almost. No, I don't. Let me go back. Okay. But we'll get to that in another time. You can always go on our YouTube channel. There's plenty of content out there on 7-11-4. Because your pitch, which you should have one, mine is, somebody says, what do? I generate leads, I create cash flow, and I build thriving communities. What is that, 5 seconds? Okay, if they say nothing, I do nothing. What do? How do you generate leads? How do you create cash flow? Are you part of a thriving community? Those are the questions I might ask the person. But if they show no interest, if they don't lean in and say, tell me more about generating leads, I've always struggled in that area. We invite people to be on our podcast. We develop a relationship. We develop an asset, a co-asset, because people buy from people. And your story, people remember. Do they remember all the facts that you share about your company? Nope, they don't. They got too much going on. They can't remember all your stuff you throw at them, but they remember your story. Stories stick. Stories stick. So, your profile is your digital profile. And creating a digital profile could involve having a book, having a workbook, having a magazine, having a podcast, having a LinkedIn profile, having things that people can consume of you, because they have to know, like you, and trust you. And if you don't put anything out there, how are they going to do it? They ain't going to do it. They don't, because you haven't done your job of creating a digital profile. Your products are just like this. It's the course that we create that you're on right now. Presentation, you got to have a presentation. We do 5 minutes, 3 points. We have our live events. We have our virtual events. We teach people to do 5 minutes, 3 points. When you are doing that, you're consciously, intentionally creating your presentation. Then when you do all those 4, now you're looking for partnerships. When you're looking for partnerships, man, that's when the rocket hits the fuel hits the rocket, because you're going to take off. So let's go back. Productivity and storytelling. Be a good storyteller. Share people your story. Share people your vision. Share people what you're up to. Ask people, call people. What are you working on that you're most excited about? Ask them. And then listen. What is working that you've been able to do in your business? Ask people. Ask people. questions that give them an opportunity to express themselves. What does it say? If you want to be interesting, be interested in the person. So learning how to convert the episode into the magazine, that's the process we do. So we do that for our people. We do that for you. So when you have those guests, all you're doing is showing up, building that relationship with the person. You're not doing all the other things, because if you can do what you do best and create that digital asset, let others do what they do best, you're going to be winning, because time is the most precious asset. And we only have 24. I heard a saying that Elon Musk does 5-minute meetings. Most of us do an hour. What if you can get done in an hour what you can do in 5 minutes? Okay, that would be pretty good, because you only have 24 hours. So if you do not guard your time, then you can get distracted. We call it being on the busy bus. Distractions are going to slow you down. We have 12 to 60,000 thoughts going through this head. And if you're not organized in your thoughts, in your purpose, what you're doing each day, guarding your time, you only have 24 each day. We have a limited number of days on this planet. If you think you have an unlimited time, you don't, because you're not thinking of the inevitable. You're going to be gone. What do you want to do before you do that? Do you want to leave an impact? You want to leave a legacy? If you want to do that, you got to be intentional about it. So strategically selecting 20 out of the 36, almost like, it's a little bit more than 50%. But you're selecting people that want to make an impact. You're selecting people that want to invest in themselves. You're selecting people that want to build their profile, create assets with you, that have a story to share. When they have a story to share, people remember. It sticks. Stories stick. Okay. Learn the story framework by spotlighting your partners while subtly elevating your brand. What that means is, if you're spotlighting their story on the podcast, you're getting their story out in the community. You're creating a digital asset, and you're with them. So you benefit too. So it's win-win-win. Instead of wasting time doing other things, just showing up and doing one-on-ones with people that take up time. You got to drive there. You got to create podcasts. We do these remotely because speed is critical. Your time is only 24 a day. You have a limited number of days on this planet. And so if you think you have unlimited, you don't. You don't. Nobody makes it out of this life alive. I realized that when I had a stroke 3 years ago. Almost was the end. But I have a second chance. I look at things differently than most because I have a second chance. You don't need to have a stroke to change that belief system. I live every day like it's my last, because one day I'm going to be right. But until then, I'm going to live it intentionally. I'm going to live it with the people I want to be around. I'm going to build a global business. I'm going to have fun. So we have some activities for you. We're going to give you the content model. We're going to give you a lot in the homework, because you grab and understand this concept, because leads change lives. You want to change your life? Then generate leads, create cash flow, and build a thriving community. Starts with this. Starts with your worksheet. You got to identify your 12 categories. Then start strategically inviting these guests. by saying something like, has anybody ever shared with you that people buy from people? No, I don't think so. Well, the last 10 years with social media, people buy from people. Look at the people you know. Do you know their company? Most of the time, no. You know the person. We connect emotionally with people. Would you like to be a guest on our podcast and share your story with our community? How much does it cost? Nothing. Nothing. We want to give you value. We want you to see the value of a podcast. It's like going to Costco and trying to sample. If you see it, understand it, you better can see the bigger picture. And the bigger picture is creating digital assets gives you a chance to think globally. And understanding those assets, your story sticks. Your story sticks. And if you want to be part of our Growth Day community, try it for 7 days. Try it for 7 days at pkane.me/growth day. And send us a support ticket because we'll give you our course, Mindset, Goals, and Habits. So you can have the right mindset, set deadlines, and create outcomes from your habits. Okay, we have session 4 coming up. I'm excited for you. Thank you for being here. I want to acknowledge a lot of people start courses, they don't finish them. And you're on session 3. I want to commend you because you're part of a small group of people that are thriving, that are striving, that are changing, that are adapting. Because if you're not adapting your strategy today, you may not be around tomorrow because it changes so quick. You got to know what's coming. The digital revolution is happening. The entrepreneurial revolution is happening. The crypto revolution is happening. The AI revolution is happening. Artificial intelligence is changing the way we do things. The mobile revolution is happening. And if you're not aware of these changes, you can't leverage them. You can't take advantage of the wind that can be behind your sails. Be bold, make a difference, and have fun.